Hello, my name is Dan Brown, and I'm doing another episode of Let's Hike. Today we're going to be doing East Rock Park in New Haven, Connecticut. This is kind of an easier hike. It's actually more of a leisurely stroll. Today, my normal hiking friend Brian is not with me. But I do have another hiking friend today, and his name is Tucker. He's got his little sweatshirt wrapped around him because he was doing some shivering, and it's kind of a cold day. So yeah, I have he's a Bajanese dog. He's kind of a good dog. He's very affectionate. He does kind of yap at people that pass by the house, and he's very scared usually. But I like to take him to this place because it's a nice, easy walk for a dog. East Rock Park is kind of it's scenic, but it's also it's a little shady. You know, you walk through the parking lot and you see used contraceptives and garbage and stuff like that. But aside from that, it's actually pretty nice. There's a nice view. Most of the way you can just drive up, and there's a parking lot on the top of the hill. So here's a shot of the entrance of the park. This is just a grassy little area before it's a kind of woodsy. And there's Tucker. He doesn't like to stand still for too long. He likes to move, or he starts to whimper a little bit. Ready, Tuck? Ready? Alright, so the trails are pretty much like this. This is the first leg of the trail, and Tucker, he likes to pull like a sled dog, so the camera movement is probably going to be a little jerky for a few minutes. Yeah, Tucker almost got beaten up again. We were stepping out of the car and walking, you know, down the parking lot, and this big white pit bull just ran at him, and Tucker was growling, and the pit bull ran right up to him, and I stuck my foot out to try and keep them separated, but then the owners kind of called the dog back, so Tucker didn't get beaten up. He's actually not my dog, he's actually Brian's dog. And one of the things Brian always complains about is that other people don't leash up their dogs. And this pit bull was not leashed up. And, yeah, luckily Tucker didn't get beaten up. Let's get a pan around for a minute or two. I believe that's East Haven down there. One quick story about this area here is that Tucker, normally when we're walking, he just pulls as hard as he can. And one day he just snapped his harness and he ran down that hill, and I thought I was gonna lose him, but he's pretty obedient, and I just yelled at him and I was like, "Tucker! Ah!" And then he kind of came back to me. But I remember I was being pretty afraid that he was just gonna take off into the woods and I wouldn't see him again, because he's such an impatient. Look at him, sitting there whining. Why are you such a baby? But he's so impatient that he just snapped his leash and just took off. Bad dog. And there's New Haven. Ready to go there, whimpery. Ready? Let's go. One quick story about this staircase here is that when I first started coming here with the dog, it was really icy, and he would just pull as hard as he could like a sled dog, and the stairs were really icy, and he almost pulled me down these stairs here. And so I kind of had to start training him to wait, you know, kind of wait for me to pass him and not run down the stairs and just pull as hard as he could. Tucker, stop crying. And so yeah, this is kind of where I started to train him to heel, and he almost killed me. Here's New Haven again. Out there's West Rock, where the Regicides Trail is. I'm hoping to do that with Brian at some point. And maybe way out there in the distance is Sleeping Giant. You can barely see it behind the trees. And there's Long Island Sound right there. And there's, I don't know if you can hear him, Crybaby Mick whimpers a lot. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. You ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. Well, you ain't never caught no rabbits, you ain't no friend of mine. He's probably cold. There's the road I came here on, and I drove up the road that goes up the hillside to the on your lower right hand side of the screen. And then we have New Haven. I forget what school that is. Long Island Sound again. There are the tennis courts that I took the original shot from in the beginning of this video. And here we are up at the top. And here is the Soldiers and Sailors Monument. I'll read a little bit of this for you. At an elevation of 366 feet, the Soldiers and Sailors Monument honors the residents of New Haven who gave their lives in the Revolutionary War, the War of 1812, and the Mexican-American War and the Civil War. In 1882, the city appropriated $50,000 for the monument's construction. Did you know that the original plan was to build it on the town green? After much competition, it was determined that the Moffett and Doyle of New York City would design it, and Smith and Sperry of New Haven would build it atop East Rock. Construction began on June 17, 1886, with the first dedication ceremony held on June 17, 1887. The monument was rededicated on September 20, 1987, and again on October 16, 2010, following extensive rehabilitation to both the exterior and interior. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but if you want to come read all that, you can come here yourself. Alright, so let's just get one last shot of the view. And then, this has been Let's Hike East Rock. I have been Dan Brown, and my co-host has been Tucker. Got anything to say? Any final thoughts to end the video? Stories to tell? Alright.